Hello, Capricorn. Welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If Capricorn is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your tarot card reading. Remember to hit the like button, leave a comment, consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. It is totally free, does not cost anything. If there is anything you would like me to pray over, or meditate upon, or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I provide. And remember, Capricorn, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. 9 of Pentacles. There's a theme emerging in your readings lately. I think that your dedication and your commitment and your hard work, your effort, it's all paying off. Okay? 9 of Pentacles is the card of gain. This is the card of the visible sign of progress. I feel like your financial situation is greatly improving very, very soon, if not already. I think there's a trend here. Okay, let's put this card into a little bit of context and we'll see what is going on here. We've got the Leo energy, the lust or strength card. We've got Queen of Pentacles, 7 of Swords, 5 of Cups, with the Prince of Cups. A 10 of Pentacles, heck yeah, a 10 of Wands, a 9 of Cups, and a 4 of Pentacles. Financial stability in your future for sure. Yep. This is safety, security, stability on the, I guess we could be talking the physical or financial planes. This could be more of a health thing for you, I guess. I'm not a doctor. I'm not diagnosing anything, but I feel like you are these things, the material world is headed in the right direction for you. Okay, and I think it feels really, really good. I think that the energy is really perfect here. Let's select our mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot, the Factor Infinite and Unknown. We're going to set it right here with Bubo, the Mechanical Owl, right on top. And we're not going to look at that card until the very end, but it will tie everything together and give us the confirmation that we need. If at any point during this program you feel like you know what that card is, put your prediction down in the comments. All right. Let's take a look around the room. Interesting thing here is that the only major arcana energy we have today is that Leo card, the lust or strength card. This is really about you letting your light shine. You believe in yourself. You are loud and proud. You're being told by Spirit to feel good about the progress you're making in life. 9, we get that 9 of Pentacles, right? And then what do we have with this lust card? We have a sense of pride that you're feeling good about it. Why wouldn't you? You know, it's not necessarily arrogance, but you deserve to be proud of yourself. You deserve to kind of walk with your head held up a little bit higher today, because you're making progress. Even if the progress is tiny, you're making progress, right? I think you're going to be making more and more and more progress. I think it's going to start happening a lot quicker. But this is right in line with the last couple of readings that we've done. And this lust card is saying, believe in yourself, right? Walk with your head up high because you're doing this. Through your strength, your discipline, your self-control, your creativity, your power is what is doing this, in conjunction with Spirit, of course, right? Giving glory to the highest, to the universe, God, Goddess, Deity, Spirit guides, guardian angels, ancestors, that sort of thing. But there's nothing wrong with feeling good about what you're accomplishing. This is pride, okay? And it's been a theme the last year or so of readings for you. There's always a suggestion in the Capricorn readings that you weren't always proud of yourself. that maybe you were told by friends or family when you were growing up, parents or whatever, like that you shouldn't feel proud of yourself, that you shouldn't feel, you shouldn't let your light shine, that you shouldn't be out there noticeable. You need to stay in the background, stay quiet, right? Don't be so loud, turn the volume down, dim your shine a little bit, Capricorn. And then we've got this lust card that's saying, no, I'm not going to. I'm not going to dim my shine. I'm accomplishing something. I'm living my life. I'm making progress in the right direction. And gosh darn it, I feel good about it. You know? So allow yourself to hold your head up high and be proud. You don't have to be so meek and humble all the time. Right? Be proud. Be proud. Really wonderful energy. I love this reading. I've loved the last couple of readings for you. We have fire over here. We've got water, water, water. A little bit of air, but that's in the back. That's past. Okay? And then we've got earth, 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 and earth. Oh my gosh, I love it. I love it so, so much. But what is the Seven of Swords? Let's get this out of the way. This was a period of time in the recent past where you doubted yourself. You didn't trust things. I don't think you're someone that trusts people like right away. And I think even when you start getting this, the inklings of success, when you start seeing good things happen, you kind of have this background energy that's just like, can I trust this? Is this real? And we see that with the Five of Cups too. These two cards together really say that, you know what, I don't trust a good thing. If it feels good, I'm a little bit leery of it, right? That we don't want to get our hopes up, that we don't want to feel too satisfied yet. We don't want to feel happy, right? Because, well, what if it's not real? What if it's just, what if I'm not looking at it right? What if all this progress that I'm feeling, what if it gets taken away? What if I end up looking like a fool? What if I get so proud and I'm holding my head up really, really high, and then come to find out it's a mistake, come to find out it wasn't real, or it gets taken away, or it just crashes and burns really quick? And then what? And then we're just sort of, we get our heart broken, we get disappointed. So these two together say, I'm not getting my hopes up, right? I think Spirit's trying to tell you, no, it's okay this time. It's okay to get your hopes up a little bit. It's okay to feel proud of what you're accomplishing. Okay? So the Seven of Swords is a time where you didn't trust. It's a time where you didn't really even necessarily believe in yourself. You had doubts. Okay? Now, I feel like you know sign language, or Spirit saying something about ASL specifically, American Sign Language. I don't know if that's something that you have studied, or if that's something that you're learning, or you need to learn it, or something like that. Yeah. But this is, I think, the past. We're kind of over that period of time where we're doubting ourselves, where we're not believing in what we're doing. This is saying I'm not feeling proud of myself. So we're kind of replacing that with this. This is always going to be there. This Seven of Swords is always going to be part of your life. You're always going to be prone to, or have a tendency to, disbelieve in what you're experiencing, to question your reality, right? And that's a good thing. This is kind of a skeptical energy. It's saying, I'm not going to put all my eggs in one basket until I really know what this basket's all about. I'm not going to get my hopes up until I really can, get some good confirmation, and until I really evaluate it and vet it. And so we can keep these swords as our investigative tools. I don't know, I feel like you're into like the true crime stuff too, is that right? I feel like you watch some sort of mystery documentaries about unsolved mysteries or something like that, yeah? Because I feel like you're always gonna keep this little bit of suspicion, a little bit of mistrust. You're not gonna be taken advantage of. So I think this is very good energy. And this is in the past, so it's kind of telling me that you need to be very aware of what your past was, so that we do not fall into the same traps as we did before. We don't get kind of confronted with the past or ambushed by the past when we're least expecting it. So this is very good energy. It's a card of futility. It's a card sometimes of criticism. Sometimes this is a card of interference or of distractions. But to me, I feel like this is your skeptical mind. This is that part of your maybe left brain, right? This is part of your brain that's the skeptical part. It likes to investigate things. It's not gonna believe in something. It's not going to just accept something until it really makes sure it is what it is. So these are very good tools, right? You have a very analytical, investigative kind of mind. Yeah. And this is, again, in the past position. So make sure that you stay mindful, let's say, mindful of the past, not obsessed with the past, not distracted by the past, not ruminating on the past, not living in the past, but you remember it, right? You forgive, you're not going to forget, because this is an important part of who you are now. So Spirit's telling you to make sure that you stay mindful of where you've been, so you kind of know how to avoid any other pitfalls that might come your way. Okay? This is that experience. And if we don't learn from the past, then what's the point, right? If we don't understand what we went through and why, and sort of, if we have never analyzed it or thought about it or contemplated it, then we're going to end up just doing the same thing over and over and over again. Yeah. So this, I think, is the only air energy we have in the reading today, but I think it's really kind of the most important card. And sometimes when we have so little of some energy, it really draws our attention to it. That's the only swords card, right? So that's the one we're going to look at. It kind of draws, it's like a painting, right? It kind of draws your eyes toward it because it's the only one here. Okay, now we've got the Queen down below. And I think that if we take these cards all together, because the Queen is looking at the past, that's what the Queens do, right? The Princes look at they look at the now. They look at what's going on. It's in your future position. But this is kind of saying, Spirit's, I think right now, very specifically saying, look at the past and make sure you understand what those things were so you don't go back there. So you don't repeat those same things, so you don't let that ever happen again. We don't fall into the same ways of thinking. We don't fall into the same self-doubt or whatever it is. Now, when these two cards are together, we're thinking of the past and we're getting sad. When these two cards are together, we're thinking of the past and we're getting some good ideas, right? Because the Queen of Pentacles is a practical wisdom, looking at the past to find techniques, to find data, to find, experience that then we can translate and we can pivot toward the future and we can use that again. Understanding the past so that we get those tools and those skills to use in the present moment to create our future, basically. Okay? And so this is very good, very practical. Yeah, very, very practical. Look, because you're looking at the long and winding road, right? Right there. Looking at the long, winding road. And every challenge that you've met with, everything that you've overcome, everything that you've ever accomplished, every failure you've ever had, everything in your past is a tool, is an experience, right? It was a learning moment. And so all of that is useful now in what you're doing today and how you're moving forward with this progress, with confidence, with this feeling like I'm ready for whatever comes my way. I'm ready for the success. I'm ready to keep pushing forward and keep making progress. I believe I can do it, and look at me, I'm doing it. That's the major arcana energy. This is the feeling that you have such stature that you could reach up into the sky and pluck out a star. Your star, the star, right? Maybe the mystery card will be the star. Wouldn't that be great? So this is that kind of confidence. This is almost an invincibility. And sometimes we have to believe that, even if logically we know I'm not invincible. We're all mortal here, I assume. But we have to sometimes believe that I can frickin' do anything. Yeah. And then here we are making progress. Here we are inching forward if we need to sometimes. Okay? Because we have this ability to learn from the past. And not lament the past, no, but learn from it. Right? So the Queen is just about ready to make that pivot toward the future, but Spirit's telling you, yes, look at the past year. Now, someone who cooks the Italian food or likes the Italian food, somebody's like big on the Italian food or the pasta or something like that, right? Anyway, the Five of Cups is looming over your head here. It's at the very top of the path of the dove. And you're somebody who, you know what it's like to feel disappointed. You know what it's like to really believe in something, and you got this youthful anticipation for something, and then it never happens, and you're just like, oh, you're let down. It's like a kid, who's so excited they're going to go, do anything. Well, after school, we're going to go buy a toy after school, right? And then after school comes, and the parents are saying, no, we can't go today. We have a doctor's appointment or something, and the kid's just like, oh man, crushed, and that kind of disappointment, that's heartbreaking. It feels like the worst thing in the world, And I think you're somebody that knows what that's like, and so you have this protection against that, where you're just like, I'm not going to get my hopes up. I'm not going to celebrate this. I'm not going to just be all happy and just gushing with love, because I don't know yet. I don't quite know what's going on here. Yeah. I think you're somebody also that knows how emotions fluctuate in our lives, And I think you're trying not to go to the extreme of your emotional range. It's kind of like, back to children and things where they'll tell each other that I hate you. You're not my friend anymore, right? I have a 4-year-old daughter, so we're kind of right in the middle of all that. They may have these extreme emotions, and I'm never going to play with her again. I'm never going to be her friend. I hate that person, and, whatever. Because at that age, kids, they feel that intensity, and they feel like that's going to always be there. We're identified. We feel that it consumes us. But the Five of Cups is reminding us that emotions will wash away, and they will be replaced by something else. Very soon. The sooner we kind of disidentify, the sooner we detach from our those negative emotions, the sooner another one can come in. And usually it's the opposite, right? This extreme kind of hate and anger gets replaced by love and joy. Like, oh, they're my best friend, And it's interesting to see how quickly kids can just sort of go back and forth between those extremes, right? But as adults, we have to kind of, I think, try to feel our emotions. We're not trying to minimize. We're not trying to negate the emotions. We're not saying, no, you don't feel that way, or no, I don't feel that way. That's silly. I shouldn't feel that way. No, that's how I feel. But I'm not going to act on it until it washes away, and then I kind of can look at it more objectively and in a more centered way, and figure out what is an authentic response here. Okay. So I feel that your emotional life is kind of all over the place lately. I think that with the progress that you're seeing in your life, we're not really sure how to feel about it yet. We go through these big extremes of emotions, but we're trying to just be a little bit stoic in a way. And stoicism is not about denying your emotions. It's about recognizing them, feeling. I feel a big ass emotion right now, but I'm not going to let it dictate my behavior. I'm not going to let it, push me into some action that once the wave washes out, I'm not going to feel that way anymore, and I'm going to regret that big action that I took, right? So we're trying to be authentic. We're trying to stabilize and get centered in this emotional situation that you're in, which I think really it's kind of like this big joy. I feel like it's really the happiness of the Nine of Cups here. Nine of Cups is the ideal emotion, right? This is just euphoria. Everything is so good. I'm so happy. I'm so in love. Everything is so abundant. Mentally, emotionally, spiritually, creatively, physically, financially, everything is absolutely glorious. That's a big emotion. The biggest positive emotion you can imagine. Well, you're trying to say, Five of Cups, you know what? I'm gonna wait and see. I'm not gonna make any moves now based on that emotion. I'm gonna let the waves wash out, and I'm gonna stay centered in my authenticity. Here's that fixed water energy. The Prince of Cups, fixed water, centered in our emotions, stabilized. Okay, so moving forward, you're not trying to make decisions in the present moment based on how you feel. You're trying to wait till the future, let's say, once the big emotions have subsided and you're centered, that's when you start making decisions and taking actions. I like to wiggle the cards like we're in an iPhone here. Because this is a centered emotional state. This is balance. It's kind of like, I know how I feel. I know what I want authentically here, not based on the big emotions, positive or negative. Somebody in your family has an issue, something with their kidneys or with their urinary system. I'm sensing something with, I think it's with the kidneys or something like that. Yeah, I don't know if it's you or somebody close to you. I'm not a doctor. I'm not diagnosing anything. It's something that's already known. Yeah, but it's just a reference point here. So I like the Prince of Cups because it's about taking action. It's about doing something in the present moment. But it's not in the present moment. It's in the future, right? So it's suggesting that we wait until our emotions have sort of calmed down and we're just a little bit more Om, a little more Zen, a little more centered. And then we decide how we're going to continue to move forward, because we get this big positive emotion and then we're going to go and we're going to like buy a boat or something. It's like, well, wait a minute. Or we get this big negative emotion and then we're going and we're just selling the house. And wait a minute. Okay. No big decisions when you're in these big emotions. Okay? It's okay to feel them. Like I tell my daughter, it's okay to feel the big emotions, but don't make any final absolute decisions, until we get back to kind of a centeredness and we think, okay, well, what do I really want to do? What really makes the most sense right now, And that's kind of acting from this very stabilized, authentic place within us. And so I like this. It's kind of saying waiting until we stabilize a little bit before making big decisions. Let's talk about the path of the serpent. This is all really, really good energy for you. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, by the way, please do. It is totally free. It doesn't cost anything to subscribe. Your general energy is the 10 of Pentacles. This is the picture of your best life. This is the ideal health, the ideal wealth. Right? It's physical, financial, it's health, it's wealth. It could be both of these things for you. Knowing what the ideal is. And the 9 of Pentacles in relation with this 10 of Pentacles is showing, when we look at this, I don't know where to put it, I guess right here. If we look at these 3 cards, it shows that we're in such like powerful, creative, confident energy as we go from a 9 to a 10. So it feels like we're so close. It feels like we're getting there. It feels like we're doing it. And to go from a 9 to a 10, sometimes it's just a little move. Sometimes this takes the longest period, right? But this is the living of this best life, and knowing that through our actions, our decisions, and the way we're conducting ourselves in the world is getting us closer and closer and closer to that perfect 10. And of course, living that kind of life gives us more confidence. It reinforces our confidence. It gives us this unbelievable energy that says, I can do it. I can do anything. Right? Because if we believe we can do it, then we just start doing it, and we're doing it. Now, I don't think the 10 is necessarily a finished product. I feel like the 10 is just the tarot's way of saying an infinite number of something. Because we're base 10, civilization. I mean, 8, 9, 10, and then there's an infinite number. Some cultures are like base 3. 1, 2, 3, and then there's a whole bunch. So this is open-ended. This is open-ended. But it's also the idea that we do need some actual like goals, right? We can say, I just want to keep doing the same thing and my life just will never end and I'll always be pursuing this, this best life and that's it. I'll always be going from a 9 to a 10, 9 to a 10, 9 to a 10. And we stay in that sweet spot because every time we get close to the 10, we just push the goal back a little bit, right? And then we're in that sweet spot like a 9.5, right? And then anytime we get 9.8, 9.9, okay, I better make some more goals. But we got to have those goals so we know kind of, and really it's just a way of perceiving it so that we can know we're getting close. Otherwise, we have no way to gauge progress. What is a 9 of Pentacles? It's just a verb. It's just movement, but we don't know where. It's like it's not in relation to anything else. We put it in relation to an ideal or a goal or a specific metric or a benchmark. Then we can say, oh, okay, now I know I'm kind of getting there. We say, well, it's 70 degrees outside. What does that even mean? 70 in relation to what? What's the range? What's the scale here? 70, when the thermometer goes up to 200, maybe it's cold outside, right? But 70, really close to the red zone, it's almost 80. Okay, that's probably pretty warm. It's all relative, right? So relative to what? The ideal, the goal, the somewhat arbitrary or artificial benchmark that we set for ourselves so we know, okay, I want to stay right in that sweet spot, right, of a 9.5. It's like the RPMs on a car. Your RPM, your engine's up to like 8,000 RPMs. Okay, what does that mean? In relation to what? Well, it only goes up to 9,000. Well, you're in the red line, you know? We don't know. My car gets like 25 miles to the gallon. I don't know if that's good or bad. We need to compare it to something. Okay? And I think what we compare it to is, well, what is the car supposed to get? You know, what did they tell me it was going to get? Or what do other cars in similar like weight kind of thing and similar cars kind of get, similar engine sizes and whatever. So anyway, you get the point. We need to have those benchmarks. We need to have those goals so we can appreciate the progress we're making. We don't know we're making progress unless we have some sort of standard against which to measure our activities. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, then we've got our 10 of Wands. In the position of the environment, I feel like you are a lot of things to a lot of people. I feel like you take care of a lot of people. I feel that you're someone that can get things done, and a lot of people rely on you. I think you have a nice interdependent network with your friends, your family, your people, your coworkers, your pets, your plants. I feel like everybody kind of helps each other out, and we're sort of all vibing with each other, right? You're doing great work, and your friends are doing great work, and then that kind of motivates you, and everybody's there to help each other and encourage everybody. I feel like there's a lot of accountability. I feel like you're supported in all the right ways. Okay. And again, this is kind of, with our 10 of Pentacles and a 10 of Wands, it's kind of saying we get out of it what we put into it. So you're putting in maximum effort, you're going to get maximum rewards. Yeah. Maximum rewards. And this is that effort. Maximum effort. Now, it's not a 10, it's an unlimited amount of effort. It's I'm going to put in as much effort as I possibly can. Some days it's going to be more, some days it's going to be less, relatively speaking, right? One day to the next, right? It's going to fluctuate. But I feel like this is you always trying to put in your very best. Always trying to give everything your full attention, give everything like 110%. Yeah. In terms of your relationships with other people, I feel that sometimes you can get overwhelmed with like friendships and the energy that's required to maintain those kinds of friendships. The maintenance work that we have to put in if we're gonna to keep those friendships. Yeah. This is a lot of work. in the position of your relationships, do they feel like they're a lot of work? Yeah. I feel like everybody's very supportive and everybody is really motivated. But I think sometimes you get overwhelmed, and it makes sense that we might occasionally have these big feelings like, I just want to be alone. Life would be easier if I didn't have any friends, because then I wouldn't have to put in so much energy. Like, you have a best friend, right? It's not just, oh, okay, hey, we're best friends, good, done. No, you got to call them occasionally. You got to remember their birthdays, their kids' birthdays. It takes maintenance. It takes a lot of effort. You got to keep in touch. You got to bond. You got to have things. You got to have conversations. You got to hang out. You've got to do all of these things, right, to maintain that. Okay, and then what if we have a lot of relationships like that? Well, then our whole life is then consumed with just, maintaining one relationship after the other. And it can get overwhelming. Okay, and as a Capricorn energy, you have a tendency toward that lone mountain goat. Sometimes I just dream about just being on my own little backpacking journey up the mountain, just me and my donkey or something, me and my goat, And, sometimes that's a fantasy, but I don't think you want that as a reality. Okay, so again, we're back to the big emotions. Let's not make any big decisions when we feel those big emotions. It's okay to feel overwhelmed, but let's get centered until we make any, before we make any big decisions. All right. Now, the 9 of Cups this is the position of the obstacle. One, because I think you really want this big emotion. You want this big euphoria, this is super abundance. This is super duper exponential abundance, right? It's 3 exponent 2, I guess, right? Yeah, 9. This is physical, financial, mental, emotional, spiritual, creative, abundance, satisfaction, pleasure, joy, jubilation. This is a big feeling, right? This is super abundance. Yeah, and this is what we want, but this is what we're kind of nervous about embracing that. We're kind of nervous about feeling like, really, life's good now? I don't know. We're looking over our shoulders. Life's too good. Where's the ambush? Where's the attack? Right? And that's good to be that way. But we also need to, hey, if you're feeling good, feel good. Be proud, lift your head up. This is what we really want, is this happiness. This is that big emotion. But the outcome here, if we look, we have this outcome, the 4 of Pentacles. And the 4 of Pentacles is not always the most exciting card, but what we want is stability. Safety, security, stability. We want to feel safe, to feel our big emotions, knowing that we're not going to burn the house down. We want to feel safe, accepting the love and being full of that 9 of Cups, right? And again, the 9 of Cups is sort of asking, what is that in relation to, right? Where's the 10 of Cups that we're comparing this to? This is that joyous feeling, but maybe this kind of feeling doesn't really need a comparison. Maybe we're comparing it to the kind of the opposite of it, right? Just as with our 9 of Pentacles, we need some sort of metric by which to gauge our progress. But when it comes to a positive emotion, how do we do that? Well, I think we compare it to how shitty we used to feel, or we sometimes still do, pardon my French. And so that's kind of this idea that we cannot appreciate this happiness if we don't know what to compare it to, if we don't have any pain or sorrow to compare it to, if we've never had a negative emotion, or we've never allowed ourselves to feel a negative emotion, we won't know what the super abundant 9 of Cups happiness really is when we have it. Yeah. So anyway, the 4 of Pentacles is that stability. It is that safety, that security, knowing that we are confident that we can handle these big emotions and still be perfectly stable and perfectly on track and still be building our life, that we have good habits, that we have given ourselves a safe space to be ourselves, to be authentic, to be confident. This is the feeling like, okay, you know what? It's okay for me to feel good now. It's safe. It's safe for me to love the progress. It's safe for me to feel proud of what I'm doing. It's safe for you to maybe take a little time out from some of these relationships that are very demanding on you. Because you know that you have this foundation in your life. You have this stability of, friends and family and your own self-control, your own discipline, I guess, your own routines. I think financially, this is, and even health-wise too, if this is part of it for you, this is a lot of good stability here. This is knowing that, okay, things are okay. No matter what I'm feeling, big emotions either way, things are going to be okay. Yeah. So I think a financial stability is very, very important to you, upon which we can build more. It's kind of like, I don't know. It's like you have enough in your savings account that you could take a little bit of money and you could play the stock market. You know what I mean? Or you can take a little bit of that money and you can buy yourself just some nice things because you have a stability. You have security there. Okay. I think that this might be a very clean bill of health too, a stability in your health. I don't know if you've been getting a lot of blood tests lately, but I feel like things have kind of been like this, And so I feel like this is now, things are kind of leveling out. Things are evening out here, stabilizing. Okay. Now let's look at our mystery card before I lose my voice completely. I want to see the goat, right? I want to see the devil. I want to see the Capricorn power card. Or maybe the Knight of Pentacles. Either way, they're both your power cards. If you have a prediction, put it in the comments. A Queen of Swords, water and air, right? Queen of Swords. This is Stoic. This is the ability, it's interesting, because this is water and air. This is air and water. So it really is, it's the inside out of this card, right? It's it's kind of, it's getting centered in our emotions, but then this card is kind of about getting a perspective outside of our emotions, right? This is a fixed water energy. It's sort of, we're in our feelings and we're stabilizing it. We're being authentic. We know how we feel about something. This is kind of getting out of the feelings altogether and getting that almost like an out-of-body experience and viewing our emotions. So this is really the Stoic card. Because this is saying, look, those are the emotions, and I'm going to sort of look at them kind of objectively. I'm not going to judge them, but I'm going to kind of detach from them, disidentify with them, so I can maybe objectively assess what's really going on. Yeah. This is that ability to get that kind of bigger picture, bird's eye view of things. And maybe the bird's eye view is this top-down look at your castle and thinking, I got a good thing going. I do have stability. I am building something that's lasting, right? And maybe that's part of our 9 to 10, 9 to 10. What you're doing is you're building something that's semi-permanent in the world. Maybe you're building a legacy. Maybe you're building that savings account. You're building that sort of cushion. You're building that stable foundation in your life. And this is about you recognizing objectively how much progress you're making. When you're in this and we're just feeling all proud and we're feeling all like excited about what we're doing, that's when, like I said, you're kind of like, is this real? Am I being a fool? Like, is this, can I be happy about this or what is it? This is that objective viewpoint where you are looking at the numbers or you're getting that out-of-body experience, that bird's eye view. And you're looking at it and you're thinking, yeah, I really am making this progress. Things really are stabilizing and getting better. So this is that objective view. I think this is absolutely perfect. This is a great, I wonder if this is kind of the third installment of the last couple of readings. This is like we're finishing the trilogy here in a certain period of time for you, a certain phase of your energy. Yeah. We're going to do an extended reading as well. If you want to stick around, there's a link up top. There's a link down below. New readings for Capricorn Thursday and Sunday. Be sure to watch both. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It is free. Leave a comment and let me know where in the world you're currently watching from. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you. And we're all in this together.